Good morning everyone, Jason Page here. Welcome back to another light painting vlog. Today I am leaving Foss State Park in Oklahoma and headed to Johnny Griffin's house in Arkansas. Johnny and I are going to be doing some light painting around there, probably talking about tools and all kinds of fun stuff. Just one thing I wanted to talk about was last night I came here, I wasn't planning on shooting. I was like, I'm just going to do one shot and get it over with and then go to bed. But once I started shooting, I just started coming up with all these different ideas and different concepts and things like that. And I discovered a couple new light painting ideas or techniques just by shooting. Even though I wasn't really planning on shooting, I discovered new stuff that I can now take and incorporate into nights when I plan on, being out all night and shooting. Just a little sparkly effect around the illuminated being. That was the first time that I ever did that, and I really loved the way that came out. The light writing, instead of light writing at the camera, I used the projected light from the translucent light writer on the bench, and I think that's the first time that I've ever used the projected light from the translucent light writer to do any light writing, almost like a light graffiti. Point is that you can come up with all kinds of creative, cool ideas in the simplest settings, whether it be inside your living room or just a park bench. You can then use those new ideas, concepts that you come up with in this very mundane scene and take it into something that's even more extraordinary. So anytime you get the chance to light paint, I say do it. Leaving Foss State Park, headed to Johnny Griffin's, very excited to get there, see all the crazy new tools that he has that he's been working on, and also get out to some of his local spots that he has been telling me about for years, and I'm very excited to see, especially one called White Rock. So hopefully we'll be up there shooting, and I will show you everything that we do. So see you at Johnny Griffin's. What's up everybody? Here in Johnny Griffin's garage. Johnny has introduced me to Oculus. We have fed his fish. We have had dinner. Now we're gonna do some light painting in Johnny's garage. So Johnny is gonna show us his technique for steel wool light painting. And it is a steel wool light painting technique like you have probably never seen before. And here he comes right now with his camera. There he is. Johnny is running. Johnny, come back. Johnny is going to show us his very unique and different steel wool light painting technique tonight, correct?
I guess that's what you told me I was going to do.
I did this technique. I'm going to show you that image right here to show you a little teaser of what we're going to create. We're not creating that image, but this is Johnny's technique that he shared with me at least a couple years ago that I tried out on my own, but I didn't do it nearly as well as he did it. So he's going to show us how to do it tonight, and that's what we're going to do.
Sounds like a plan. Hey, I lit the fire.
Ah!
Good thing I got mechanics hands. Don't do that at home. Oh, there's another one.
So, Johnny, you want to explain what we're doing?
Well, after I kill you with my secondhand smoke, I'm going to light up some steel wool and see if I can create this skull.
So we're going to draw that out on the ground with chalk.
Here, I'm going to lay it down and I'm just going to trace it out with some welder's chalk.
Okay. And we're going to put that right here on the concrete. All right, so we're using that as a reference. Johnny's going to try to draw out something similar to that skull.
Right.
And then we're going to lay the steel wool basically on the lines that Johnny is drawing in there.
Right.
And then we're going to light it on fire. So while Johnny's over here creating the masterpiece on the ground, I have cut up a bunch of pieces of steel wool that we will then lay out on the design that Johnny is putting out on the ground there. Steel wool is cut into different size strips, which we will then fluff up and lay out all over the design, and then have an incredible skull. It's looking good, man. All right, Johnny has officially turned our skull into a demon cat.
I told you, I can't draw a doodle until I see something I recognize.
It looks like to me a Cheshire cat mixed with the Grinch. I like it.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You dirty, rotten scowl.
That'll work for a turn and burn.
I love it. Let's do it.
All right, now the tricky part is to get all the steel wool to stay exactly where you want it.
I think the teeth should be steel wool.
Go ahead and whiten out the teeth and the white spots there.
The teeth, white spots in the eyes.
Or should the whole eye be white spotted and black out his pupil?
I don't know.
I'm thinking fill in the white. I'm thinking of trace this,
Definitely the
fill this, spread this out for the pupil.
Oh, good idea.
Trace this, fill these, fill the teeth, and then maybe a
Trace
trim
the-
line.
Okay.
And do the whole outside's a trace anyway.
And then we'll see what it looks like with the wool down, and we'll be able to figure out whether it looks good or not.
And
Okay.
the nice thing about it, the wool won't burn the chalk. So we should be able to just pick up the wool, make adjustments, and burn again if we want to.
Let's do it.
Well, I mean, to look at the back of the camera there.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, perspective is a lot different. As you can see, there's a lot of pieces on the art piece itself that's not connected. And while you're burning, you have to make sure you kind of have to map it out in your head so that as you're lighting it in the dark, you don't miss a spot. Because you do the whole thing and you missed a cheekbone over here, when you're doing something like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy, like we have 11 teeth across the top, 10 across the bottom. It's easy to miss one of these teeth and you'd be toothless, or you'd miss an accent point that was over here but not over here.
Right.
So you kind of want to make a mental map. You want to know the piece you're working on very well. I usually make the pieces where I can reach across them.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, when I'm sitting there with the battery, because what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to tap each element.
Mm-hmm.
Now each element will burn itself, but this element won't burn this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to know, I have to go rhum, eye, cheek.
I got you.
nose,
So you're either
whatever.
working top to bottom or left to right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm going to work my way from far away from it because the camera's recording it as it's burning. So I don't want a light over here and be
And block the
blocking
camera.
it. So
Right.
I'm going to go furthest away from it, whether I start at the top and work my way up or side to side.
Okay.
I've just got to figure out the best, most effective map I can remember every piece. Another thing you got to watch out for is leaning over it. These things burn bright. So I'm leaning over it, it will light me if I'm taking too long in one spot. Just like with the light painting, if you hold the light on your skin for very long, you're going to show up in the image.
Mm-hmm. Another tip would be to have on all dark clothing, but whatever, we're going with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, just typical light paint. We're just going to goof it off in my garage tonight.
Yep. All right, you ready?
Well, I guess so.
All right, don't forget to trigger the camera.
I've got it right here on my wrist.
Lights are going out. You ready?
Yep.
It's not horrible.
Well, I didn't say it was horrible. I said it just I mean, cats have fur all over too, but it's supposed to be a cat, right?
Yeah.
It just come out of the alley.
That right there is the perfect example of reality of what we do, right?
It's a lot of work. Sometimes, you know, you think you got something planned, you go through with it, and you learn something from it. You know, we just kind of patched this together in a couple hours. So,
Right.
I mean, it looks, you could tell it's a cat, it's just an ugly one.
Right, exactly.
Not
It's-
ugly the way we wanted it.
Right. It didn't come out horrible by any means. It just came out not as either one of us would have hoped
Right.
it was going to come out.
Right.
However, it does hopefully show you guys this technique.
But it can be unbelievably dangerous. All right, this is fire just like when we're spinning. We're in my garage. We have a good open area. We have access to water to put this thing out if it got away from us. You know, this is fire. It's hot. You know, so, and as I don't know if it'll make the video before I lit it because I had battery in my hand. I lit the steel wool in my hand and had to put it out in my hand.
If you do decide to try this, which we do not recommend because it's too dangerous, make sure you've got fire extinguisher ready to go. We do not recommend doing it in a garage, even though we are. The fumes can be very dangerous and toxic for you. You can burn down your house, you can burn down a building, you can burn down
Always
everything.
do it with somebody else to watch your back. Doing it alone is extremely dangerous.
One more super simple one to show you guys. Easy version of this technique that we're gonna do. Again, fire extinguisher, very dangerous. Don't try this at home. You can burn your house down, burn yourself, get hurt, all that bad stuff. So please be careful if you do decide to do this, which we do not recommend that you do because it's too stupid and dangerous.
Right, don't be dummies like us. And we did run into another snag that you had a solution for, and that was the 9-volt battery wouldn't light our wool. We had it bunched up a little too tight for it to really get it spread and get air. So we ended up moving to a pale blue plumber's torch.
A little butane
And
torch.
moving it kind of quick to keep it from showing up in the exposure. And the steel wool burns much brighter than it did, so we got lucky there having a backup.
So another option that you should not do or try. Here we go. There you go, guys.
We tried.
We tried. So we're gonna go ahead and line up the We Tried Steel Wool Line Art Johnny Griffin technique.
Okay.
And we're using, instead of a 9-volt, we're gonna go ahead and just use a torch just to knock this out really quick. Lights are going off, and here we go.
Did it click?
It clicked. There it is. That's what we were after.
Yeah.
Come on. Perfect.
And you see all the detailed characters of the fire. It's just a really cool, fun thing to do. Like I said, be safe, be prepared.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Johnny Griffin and I wrapping up this vlog for tonight. I've made it here to Johnny Griffin's house. Tomorrow we're going up to
White Rock.
White Rock. This is the spot he's been telling me about for many years. I'm excited to see it. Hopefully we'll see some cool things up there and also be able to possibly light paint there. I don't know if we're gonna light paint there. We might light paint there. We might light paint at the other spot, which is
Natural Dam.
Natural Dam, which is a lot closer to his house. White Rock's 45 minutes. Natural Dam's like 25 minutes, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna probably light paint at one of those spots tomorrow. If we don't light paint there, we could just light paint right over here at this trail. Johnny's got almost, what, 5 acres?
Yeah.
He's got 5 acres here. He's got a trail right over here where we light painted last time I was here. And it's amazing. Just a perfect little setup, a little tree covered trail over there. So we might light paint there tomorrow. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like Johnny Griffin, give us 2 thumbs up. If you like this technique, but don't try it because don't try it because it's really dangerous. You can burn yourself, burn your house, all that bad stuff. So don't try it. But if you do try it, let Johnny know because because it's his technique and I have nothing to do with this. But it is an incredible technique. Thank you very much for sharing, Johnny. as always. Tool Wizard Johnny Griffin, signing off. If you guys have any questions or comments, down in the comment section. Again, if you like the video, thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already by hitting the button. And until the next video, get out there and...
Get light.
Not to get the light.
I don't know what that is.
Get out there and get creative.